All right, welcome to the Instagram Hockey Collectors Roundtable. This is episode 3, the best one, right? We're all pretty excited about this one because we're going to be talking about 90s inserts and parallels for the entire episode mainly. And I posed the question to these guys earlier this week. I said, what is your Mount Rushmore of 90s cards? Which already got it into a hot debate within our message thread. I'm sure you guys noticed that. So I'm really excited. I know you guys are too to talk about this. Really excited too because Will, aka Dollar Rookies, has made it. He is here. And he's not at the park. He is in his house and he's got a few minutes of freedom. So we're happy to have you here, man.
Locked up in the guest room.
Nice. We definitely missed you on the first couple of episodes, man. But Will, have you were telling us like you're a big Flyers fan. How are you feeling so far about your team? How they're doing this year?
I feel fine. I mean, I don't follow them anymore as closely as I used to, partially just because I don't have time to watch games. Although interestingly, this is the first year I just moved back to Philly this year after living in New York for my whole adult life. So this is the first time I can actually watch the games. So I've been trying to check out like a period here or there, but from what I've read, their record's pretty good, but they're not. I think they've got outshot like every game. They've gotten sort of lucky, but as long as especially this season, as long as you get points where you can get them, it'll help them later on.
Well, one thing that you should take advantage of. My dad is a huge hockey fan, but he's got a lot of stuff going on. So what he and I do is we'll watch the condensed highlights. I think it's 9 minutes or less. And
I watch this sometimes.
Okay, yeah, those are sweet, man. Because then you can see all the exciting things. You don't have to, kind of just get to everything that actually mattered in the game.
But I mean, I also know how the season's going to end with them not winning. So it's not like, it's all good.
Right. Sound like a Leafs fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Cartel wanted to make an entrance, and so here he is, right on schedule. We just started with the intro, so nice to have you, Cartel. Welcome. Excellent. First time having 7 people here, so this is great. We miss Miles, and hopefully we get him here very soon. Question for you guys. I mean, anybody can start. We're 2.5 weeks into the season. We're kind of getting into a groove. We've had COVID interrupt a few games, which, of course, as a Fleury fan for Vegas and as a Canes fan, really sucks because both of those teams got affected. But their Canes are back at it. Beat the 2 amazing teams the last couple games, so that's been fun. But what's your guys' assessment of your team's performance so far? I know we got some Flyers and some Leafs fans and whatnot. How you guys feeling about it?
I've been enjoying it so far, to be honest. The Leafs are actually doing well for once, which is nice. They definitely have maybe easier competition this year with all the Canadian teams not having to face like the Bruins, which for whatever reason they always seem to be struggling against. So it's kind of nice. Well, you see them play Edmonton like 6 times already this year.
The Canadian division's fun.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I love seeing McDavid play all the time. That's awesome. I love seeing the Canadian teams. It's really cool that they're doing this, and we're gonna get I feel like treated, and then they'll put things back to the way it was before afterwards, and maybe I might not enjoy it as much. But who knows? I've pretty much been catching at least a good portion of every single game lately, so it's been very enjoyable.
Awesome.
Well, I guess you could say this about the Leafs. We'll see where having a shortened season probably helps us, so we'll probably make the playoffs. Let's just hope we don't play Boston at all. So
yes, exactly.
Well, the only way you're going to play them is in the Stanley Cup final. So correct? I get that right? So yeah. And so
I don't know how the playoffs are. I haven't even thought of the playoffs. How they're going to do? That's a whole different ball of wax there.
That's going to be fun, dude. Playoff hockey.
What are they doing? Are they going to reseed everything, or are they going to do 2 divisions against each other?
No,
I've never even thought of.
No, we can cover that too in more detail as we get close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, to just summarize, all 4 of those divisions will play each other. The top 4 teams, like 1 will play 4, 2 will play 3, and then the winners of those will play each other, and then they'll go to a bubble for the final 4 teams. The top team from each division will go into a bubble and do a playoff there. So that's going to be exciting, dude. How about, I'm curious too. 2 Leafs fans have sound off. Nick, you're a big fan of a team that's kind of rebuilding right now, but they're playing a lot of really good teams. I mean, how do you feel like it's been going for them so far?
One thing I gotta agree with Jimmy. I'm just loving the Canadian division. That has been my favorite part of this entire thing.
I agree.
But nonetheless, I mean, I just like seeing progress out of these young guys. I mean, I know not to expect much. It looks like they're on the penalty kill most of the game, but it is what it is. But trust in Stevie Y.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah, I last year when they drafted Cedar, I didn't like that pick, but that just shows I'm an idiot. And from it sounds like that kid's just going to be pretty good. We'll see. But nonetheless, yeah, just trying to enjoy it and just watch these teams just beat on my team all the time. I'm cool with that. As long as it's hockey, man, I'll take it. I don't care right now.
Right. Well, before we get to the Penguins assessment, I mean, Cartel, how are you enjoying this? I mean, couple weeks in, we've had some really good close games, a lot of overtime games. I mean, you've been enjoying it?
What with the Leafs? What I do is like I only peek into their games. I play coy with them, and when I do that, they do really well. Because if I really start watching and investing, I know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But yeah. if anyone knows me, they know I'm a big Blues fan as well. Actually, the St. Louis Jordan Binningtons, I call them.
That's right.
Because it's like I'm watching one guy take on entire teams, and I highly recommend that people check those games out if they haven't seen the Blues playing. You never know what you're going to get. Last night they completely dominated the Ducks. I don't know what was going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other thing that you mentioned, a lot of overtime games. To have Crosby, Ovi, and McDavid score overtime, like that's fantastic.
That's awesome,
for the sport. Yeah. Super exciting. It's been enjoyable.
And Scott Lawton, don't forget him. He's right up there. Talent-wise,
right in that group of guys.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was watching the Lightning and the Canes play. Now, the Canes hadn't played for over a week and a half. The Lightning were off too. And watching Vasilevsky and Mrazek, I mean, I know people aren't going to put them in the same sentence usually, but I'm telling you guys, the saves those two were making in that game to keep it 0-0 going into overtime, it was unreal. Like, I had me laughing at Vasilevsky. He made a couple saves. Like, how did he get there, you know? And the Canes also, like, you know, Aho missed like a wide open net, far left. So, but anyways, it was a great game, and I've really been enjoying it. And then the Penguins, you know, their defense is like the Red Wings defense. I feel like it's like filtering coffee. It's just letting everything through. And then they have to rely on half-speed Malkin and Crosby to get the job done. So I think the Penguins will end up scooting in as a 4. That's just my prediction. I think they got too much talent not to make it, but their defense sucks.
I know. I saw that. I saw like an Instagram notification saying Penguins signed Yannick Weber, and I was like, he's still playing in the league. I was like,
Yannick Weber.
He didn't. I thought he retired like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever can improve the defense, might as well sign one of us, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like in the intro to Major League. It's like, well, this guy's dead. Well, just
Nice. Good reference.
That's funny.
Great
Vinny, what do you think, man? I mean, you big Penguins fan yourself. I mean, are you still enjoying all these high-scoring, close games?
Yeah, I take it all with a grain of salt. I'm like, between them and the Wings is hard because I went through this with the Penguins when they rebuilt, and there was a lot of rough years. And then, you know, you start building these teams back up, and we're like on that downward turn.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the rumor is Rutherford got canned or he left because he wanted to move Letang, and Letang was beloved by the franchise, so they fixed that. And so I take it day by day. I pray a lot. just to the hockey gods and say, hey, let's see where it shakes. I love the NHL, so no matter what, I always feel like I have a proverbial dog in the race. I always pick somebody because you know, the Pens, the Wings, the Caps, and then I'll go to the Leafs. I always like the Leafs.
You're confused, I swear.
Man.
Dude, Gilmore, Sundin back in the day. I just love
I
it.
remember those teams. Yeah, when
I'll convince you to be a Canes fan soon enough. Don't worry.
Dropping down to a Leafs fan is like, for us, it's easy. We just, after the first round, we have to pick another team, right? So we're good. So it's easy for us.
Oh man, you guys sound like Mariners fans, dude. I've been a Mariners fan since I was a little kid, and we suck more than anybody. So I speak the same language. I feel
We got plenty of practice with the Pirates over the years.
Oh
From
yeah,
from '93 to like 7 years ago, it was dismal, very dismal.
It's like
It's
being a
hard being
Detroit sports fan in general right now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Lions.
All of them.
Didn't Sidney Crosby take batting practice probably his second or third year in the league with the Pirates, and he actually looked pretty good. I was like, maybe
I remember that.
maybe
Calvin
sign him off
Johnson did that
there.
with the Tigers.
Yeah.
He was
they'll
hitting
trade
home
him
runs at
for
Atlanta.
cash.
Oh,
Bob knows
gosh.
they'll sign him and trade him for cash. That's usually what the Pirates do.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping, this is just me, but I was kind of hoping our GM got canned because he was trying to trade Malkin, which, forgive me for saying this, but he looks so boring and slow out there. If anybody watches a Penguins game, you'll agree with me. I don't play hockey, so maybe I'm off my rocker here, but I get angry watching him play. He had a 3-on-none last week in an overtime game, 3-on-none, and he just gave a lazy pass, and the goalie just poke checked it away like it was nothing. I'm like, dude, that's Tuukka Rask. First of all, shoot the puck, and second, you can't just try some little pansy little move. Be strong and go to the net. Oh, just
I think
frustrates me so much. He has to be.
He's still hurt.
He has to be because he looks terrible out there.
I think
I'm
it's
just going to
the-
leave that alone.
I think it's the same syndrome Dotsuk had when he was hurt. He's going to play and play and play till he physically can't play. Then he's going to go to the KHL. And I think Malkin's probably not going to be far behind.
Well, that's why we should just trade him, get something for him. But whatever.
Really done everything he needs to in the NHL.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, both he and Crosby have for sure.
Yeah,
But
they could retire
anyways,
3 cups and scoring titles and everything,
Hart
right? So-
Trophy, yeah, they got it
Yeah,
all.
exactly. If I was Crosby, I'd leave. Honestly, I don't know why. His health and all that over the years.
Yeah.
Why not just eject now? You've done everything, literally, pretty much everything in the league. Just call it a day, man.
well, hey, Lemieux came back twice, so ask him about quitting when he should. He could have.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan came back, had no reason to at all, but these guys just can't put it away, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, you don't want to listen to me complain about Penguins. Let's get on to hockey cards. That's why we're here. That's why we want to chat. Again, Cartel, you just got here, but I posed the question a few days ago, what are your Mount Rushmore of 90s hockey cards? I said inserts, but I think, when I think of that, I think of, parallels to base cards being inserts too, because they were, 1 per box, 1 per 2 boxes, even higher for some of the really tough ones. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go down, starting with Vinny, work our way down. Nick's not at the end. He should be, but he's not. And so should Vinny, being the Wings fans here. But we'll just kind of go through Cartel. We'll get to you second to last, and then I'll just go last. I don't need to be the first one here. But does everybody have their cards out in front of them?
Oh, yeah.
Good to go. Now, I know Ryan's going to screen share. And Nick, did you want me to use that picture that you sent me as well? Okay. I'll make sure to
might as well.
See, they're all there. Yeah, they're all there. Cancel.
Good. Well, I have it up and ready to go when I get to you. So what we'll do is we'll just everybody talk about why they chose the cards they did, and then we'll kind of discuss it, debate it at the end, and I'll kind of keep tabs of what everybody picked and see who has the most, which one has the most votes. So does this sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Well, Vinny, you get to kick us off, man. What are your top 4 90s hockey cards and why?
All right, so we'll start with the King of Kings here. Can't be 90s hockey without the elite.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Is yours greening in the
Agreed.
side? Mine's
so
green.
that's the first year.
Game
90,
changer.
94,
right
95, or 95,
93,
96?
94.
93, 94. Okay.
93, 94, 94, 95 with the decal edges,
Nice.
and 95, 96.
Are those all one pick?
That's all one pick. Those
Okay.
are all elite.
Okay, all right.
So that's the elite. You changed the rules on me, so I was prepared for that about parallels. So
Good.
I will have to go with Z Team.
Okay.
Nice.
So there's the Mario and the Z Team.
Yep. I just got one of those. That's a nice card. Good on you, man.
So this one was hard to find. There's been a couple on. There's only seen 3 in the last 8 months, and I got the graded one cheaper than both the other ones were posted, so that was solid.
Yeah.
That means Ryan bought that one that the guy relisted for like $60, huh? I almost pulled the trigger on it, man.
I think I did my eBay bucks for that one.
Good.
I think I got one too in the last 8 months.
Nice.
All of us.
All right. So that's two, Vinny. What's next?
I'll go with the artist proofs.
Ooh,
Nice.
that makes me happy.
So there's that one, and we'll go with a little bit simpler one right there. There's the
Nice.
artist proofs. Now, I had like 6 or 7 other ones sitting here trying to decide. Now, when you said parallel, if we're going to go parallel, I'm going to go this route because, this is a toss-up.
It's all right.
So we got to go with this, the mirror gold.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was a close call between that and that.
Oh, it's the refractor too.
The
Nice.
finest refractor, rare to begin with, only 150 cards. And this is the one that I got to David Ortiz or David Arias by
Right.
mistake, and then had to do that whole song and dance to end up with this card. So, but I will go with the mirror gold because just look at this card, man. Just, I mean,
That's a fun set. Oh, it's not peeled. It's peeled too, isn't it?
No,
No.
it's not peeled. It's not.
Is it? Is it got the
No.
protector? I can't.
It's got the protector. Yeah, you can see it
There
on the
it
left
is.
side.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I have that set completed now. I just completed it. It's such a kick-ass set.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Those are some great picks. All right. Well, I got them all. Got them all
And
typed
just
down.
in closing, see, he ends in 96, 97. So 97, 98 through 99, 2000. No atomic refractors, no Pacific. There's, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage, because I'm going with my player on the Rushmore.
Right.
There could be more. And there's a ton during that time that I really love, but I went with my guy and what I collect. So
Nice.
there we go.
Awesome. All right. Good job, Vinny. Like it.
Thank
All
you.
right, Ryan. You are up next, my friend.
Oh yeah. I gotta share my screen here.
Yep.
And there we go. Can you see those?
Not yet. Hasn't popped up. Yeah, it'll show up on the bottom here as soon as you get all squared away. Again, I don't know.
So this one.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. There you go, dude.
So is that's the 97, 98, I believe. Pinnacle certified team that I'm showing. Yeah, the Sundin. Yeah, this one was a fun one to pick up and try and get out there and track this one down. I won this one at auction. I think these runs were limited to 300. So that was that's definitely one of, and he's also a Leaf, so I chose him for that one. And that's a parallel to the Pinnacle certified team. So that's the gold parallel. And let's see here. Hide that. I have the back. The backs of these were really nice too. Let's see here. Yeah, they're out of. Yeah, there we go.
I love that numbering. That reminds me of like an upper decks numbering.
Yeah, there's a 300 print run on them. It's not like it's serialized out of 300, so they just stuck the number on the back of it.
That's
So
cool.
that one's really nice.
I love seeing how that evolution of serial numbering was happening in the mid '90s, and it kind of played out.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
And then for
Okay.
my next one, what did I choose next? I only took. The Lemieux. These ones were this one I found a little while ago. This is from the Heart to Heart
yeah.
series. This one's autographed. They don't look that great when you actually get them in hand. That autograph is very hard to see.
What year is that, Ryan?
96, 97. That's Donruss Elite Heart to Heart. So there was 2 parts to that set. There was 6 Lemieux and 6 Lindrosses.
Mm-hmm.
And these were all Lemieux is out of, let me see here, I have the back side of it, 1996. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so there you go. So the first 166 of each card were autographed, and yeah, these were, and then you can also get the dual autograph of Lindros and Lemieux together. So this was 3 out of 6. This is the one I picked up the set with this one being autographed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't too bad. The next one I went with was, let's see here. Oh, yes.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm putting this set together slowly. The 96-97 Flare. The Blue Ice Collection. These were inserted at like 1 in 20 packs, but I've opened boxes. I've opened a few boxes, and they came 1 per box. People you talk to, though, at hobby shops, that run hobby shops, said these were a lot rarer than that. These are out of 250.
Mm-hmm.
They're really nice, too, but if you get the back sides of these are tough to get graded because they have the back side of these are, let's see here. Yeah, there you go. Oops. They have blue edges around here, and those chip. You have to always make sure if you're buying these online on eBay or wherever, you have to check check the back side, because I've seen some that are horribly chipped that have nice fronts. But yeah, it's a fun set. And then I went with for my last one, I just went with a boring one. Good old Wendell Clark. Let's see here. Yeah.
Good old Wendell Clark.
Yeah. Being a Leafs fan, I went with Topps Gold 92-93. This is an easy set to acquire. Well, I don't know how hard it is to get all gold, but yeah, this was a fun one, just to find and pick up. Plus, he's wearing the 75th anniversary NHL sweater, so yeah, it's all good with that.
Nice picks, man. Wow, interesting. Well, I was going to add as like a Pacific collector in baseball and now hockey, chipping. I'm just so used to it now because their card stock was just awful.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. So honestly, when I got the T-ball, I didn't even look at the back. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't even notice the back. Didn't even care.
Yeah, it's when you get one in hand and you realize it's chipped away. Yeah. It's like full bleed cards. They don't make cards as tough as they used to be. That's 95-96 Select Certified that Vinny had there, that Lemieux. Those cards, if you open those, like besides miscuts in that, like, or printing errors, those cards are nice. They have solid edges and all that, like, for the most part.
Right.
For a full bleed set. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I got those all typed in and awesome, all different, which is great. All right, Will, you're up, dude.
All right. Let me know if the light's no good, if you can't see these. I'm going to start with Premier SP.
Nice.
Yeah, these are pretty basic at this point, but I just love the design of these. And I don't know. I remember collecting them back when I was a kid and thinking they were like, these have to be worth something.
Yeah.
But we got a couple of them. And
what year are those from, Will?
94, 95.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Got it.
And they come die cut too, right?
There's a die cut. I don't even like those much. I kind of don't like die cuts in general.
Yeah, I didn't like the design of the die cut, like the weird edge rounding on that. So
there's another classic one.
Jim Carrey.
Lane Locker.
Lane Locker.
Yeah, so I
think
that's just my favorite set, and like, I don't know, just classic design, pretty basic. Next one, similar to Vinny, got to be the Elite Series.
Yeah.
This is from like personal preference. Like I remember I pulled this at the mall when I was a kid, and I was freaking out, and like. I remember my dad was like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, and he was like, he offered to hold it in his shirt pocket, and I let him do it. And then a few minutes later, I was like, "Give it back to me," because I was damaged corners or something. I just had it in my hand like this, because like there were no top loaders, or I just pulled it from a pack from like the drugstore or something.
Right.
I just held it like that all the way home. So that one's like got sentimental value, but it's a pretty cool set, and it's funny like. For being numbered to 10,000, they're still like fairly expensive.
They've definitely gotten expensive.
Yeah. I mean, not like you get one for like 10, 12 bucks, but still like
those first 2 years,
compared to other cards. I also pulled out this one. You gotta have this one.
Yeah, boy. There we go.
Yeah. That one I bought. That one I bought for like $5. That seemed like a fair price to pay.
Oh,
for sure. What else do I have? So this is the only card of these I have, but this is I think 94, 95 Ultra All Rookie.
Oh wow!
There was this is like the silver version. I don't know.
Yeah, they call it the sparkle version. That's tougher than the The standard one. Yeah, that's a nice card.
And they're, I guess, really rare. I had no idea.
I've never seen those. Yeah.
Sweet.
I also have another.
Can you tell everybody who that is that can't quite see it?
That's Alexander Dig.
And that's the normal version, the non-sparkle one.
Is he in the Hockey Hall of Fame yet? I'm just curious if he's made
He's
it.
in the Flyers Hall of Fame, I think.
He's in line with Zygmunt Coffey.
Yeah,
that's it.
but yeah. So these cards, like, I remember I pulled this Brodeur way back when. I thought it was cool, but like now that I got back into it, learning about it, it was like that card's pretty rare. I actually haven't seen any of those on eBay. There's like one Jason Arnott that's like $80. So
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a Brodeur that sold about 4 months ago for I think it was like 75 USD.
Wow.
Cool.
yeah, and there's not that many good players in that set to get. I mean, there's like all the rookie sets. There's a lot of forgotten players, but I like that one. And then for inserts, I'm gonna go with another random one. I really love these old Parkers.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
There's
boy.
some, it's like the cardboard. They just feel like you don't have to worry about damaging them. There's some good photos on them.
Herbe.
I always really like those, and it's easy to acquire them all. So those, I guess, would be my 4 inserts, and then you know what I'm going to say for parallels. Got the
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
this set.
That's a hard set to put together too, I bet.
Yeah, I don't. I'd probably spend a little too much money and time. Well, too much of my kids' education fund. But I built that, and that's the important thing. And you guys probably feel the same way. Sometimes like the chase is more fun than actually getting the cards.
It's true.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was a lot of fun trying to find some of those, and you guys helped me out. Get some of them. Jimmy helped me get the Gretzky, which is much appreciated. And I'm just waiting for Bob Corkum in the mail. Should be coming.
Nice.
Should be coming sometime soon. So.
Jimmy helped you find a card. Don't say it's so. I mean, I can't remember the last time he's done that for anybody. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, yeah, I bought a lot from Jimmy.
Yeah, I remember for that one too. It was late at night, and my wife was like, "Who the fuck are you texting?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. It's cool."
Yeah.
It's a weird like we were getting ready to like watch TV and go to sleep, and I was like, "Don't worry, I got to just handle this right now."
It's like on the Big Bang Theory. Who are you talking to? I'm okay, Ma. I'm talking to my friends.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, wow. All right. We got our first. I think we got our first double up on that one there. Jimmy, you are next, and remember to keep it to 5 minutes. I know you were saying you wanted to go for an hour, so keep it to 5 minutes or less. Go for it.
All right. Well, yeah, I try to go a little bit different because I knew there'd be lots of like refractors and artist proofs and things like that with this gang. So I pretty much went with a childhood perspective on this. So I'm going to share my screen.
Perfect.
All right. And can you see it, guys?
Yeah, I will be the only one that can see it. But then when it finally pops up, Jimmy, I'll put it up on the screen.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen.
Is it running through an application? No, I'm Mac. Never mind. I'm all Mac here.
I think it's the same. I think it's pretty much the same type of thing. When I share Nick's picture, I go to
there you go.
Share.
Now you see it. It's there, right?
No.
It was there. I saw it for a second.
Okay.
Sounds
like me when I'm teaching my students. Like, Mr. Bros, can you see my screen?
Nope.
You see it?
I still don't. No.
Nope.
I mean, what you could do too, Jimmy, if you can't get it squared away, just send me. I'll come back to you. You can just send me an email and I'll pull them all up for you. That also works.
What did when you shared, Ryan? Did you say your entire screen or application window or what?
No, I went share screen and then application window, and I had all my cards pulled up in the background.
Okay.
You have to have them on your screen for it to run.
Okay, there you go. It's gonna go.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, first one.
Okay. So I'm going with Pinnacle Masks. This is the 95-96 set. The one you're looking at, I actually pulled this one out of a pack when I was a kid. I was camping, and I'd $1 left, and we went into there's a small mall in town, and there was like a pop-up card show. Of course, it was like 1996, the summer. So there's card shows popping up everywhere, but there was one last pack of 95, 96 Pinnacle for $1, and I bought it, and this thing popped out, and I think we still had like a week left of camping, and I was just dying to get home to show my friends, because at the time you didn't have a cell phone or anything or a computer to like tell people you got it. So like every day, and then I didn't want to look at it too much because like I didn't have a top loader or anything, and it was just sitting in the pack. So I was just like, it was driving me crazy. But that's pretty much my favorite card right there.
Nice.
It's pack pulled by me. I'm just trying to find out where. Oh, there's no window. That's just the back of it.
Oh, it is an anti-mode. Nice.
Yeah, it's anti-mode. Okay, this is definitely not going to get any votes, but this is 95, 96 playoff one-on-one. It's not a very popular set anymore, but it was a playing card. Yeah, it was a playing card game. At the time, Gretzky sold for about $200 in 96.
What?
Yeah,
they're
this
very
was,
rare.
Yeah, you do not see them very often.
Photo.
So yes, there was you could get ones from packs and you could get ones from the starter decks. The starter decks ones, they're impossible to find, and they're like a lot of like common players like Bob Corkum, Todd Krager, I have a Bob Sweeney on the Buffalo Sabres, a one with a gold background, and I've never seen another one. So they just don't pop up, and like they're so rare. People don't know how rare they are.
I think I have a Doug Weight. That's it.
Yeah, there's a Doug Weight from 95, 96, and they tried it again in 96, 97, but it's like it didn't take off.
All right.
But for 1 year they were incredibly popular because these were so tough to find.
I have a bigger appreciation for my T-boat now. I had no idea.
Playoff one-on-one.
Well, they have
Yeah,
ones with silver
the back.
background too, right, Jimmy?
That's correct. They had silver ones as well.
All right.
The silvers were one a pack though. This was like these were one in I think 48 or one in 72, and you got 24 packs of box.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
I forgot what the odds were for the starter decks, but the starter decks you think you got 6 per box, and it was like one in like maybe 5 or 6 boxes you got a ultra rare. I actually pulled a Jaeger myself out of one of the starter decks, which was like crazy. All right, and of course you got to go with the 97, 98. I know Matt's going with this one for sure, but yeah, no, I feel like you definitely like for any player collector, this is like your pinnacle of like 90s cards to get one of these mirror platinums. This one itself is numbered to 25 copies, so definitely not an easy card to obtain by any stretch of the imagination.
Not even close.
I actually saw there was another version, I think numbered to 59, which is not the platinum one.
Right.
But it had the peel off, so I was like, no, thank you. But that one sold really fast. But this one has been on eBay for a while, and I actually knew the guy, and I messaged him, and we worked out a deal, which was nice. Because I would have never paid what it was on eBay for. So
That's right.
Yeah, it's an awesome card. And my last one. So this is the 97, 98 Don's Preferred Precious Metals Gold. So it's actually 1 gram of fine gold. I only photographed this card once when I bought it at I guess like an in-person deal, and I put it into One Touch when I got home, and I don't want to take it out again because it's an incredibly valuable card. But yeah, no, it's just, again, I just dreamed of having one of these as a kid. I never ever saw one. A guy on a Facebook group posted a 96, 97 Thornton Black Diamond Triple for sale, and I messaged him so fast, but he's like, someone else bought it. I have other cards. Do you want to see them? So he showed me this one, and I was like, wow, yeah, I'll take it. And he told me the price. It was really fair. And he's like, I got tons of other cards. Do you want to come by? He lived about 2 hours from me, so I drove. And I bought a bunch of cards for him, and we actually built up a partnership because he's like, hey, I have so much stuff. No one in my family wants it, so can you help me out? So I helped him for a while selling stuff. But he had an incredible collection. He had, when I walked in, he invited me in, and he had the prototype McDonald's masks from like the mid 90s, the plastic masks. He had the prototypes, and right away I saw it. Like my eyes caught it so fast. And he's like, wow. He was impressed because he's like, no one knows about those. Like no one knows that they're valuable or important. So
Mhm.
him and I struck up a friendship over that. So
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great card.
yeah, so that's my 4 cards.
I'm gonna throw it out there just so we can all put the peer pressure on him. Can you please take that thing out for one nice photo shoot in the brand new One Touch? Because like the scratches on the case, like my skin is like crawling.
I know.
Polish it, Jimmy. Polish
Yeah,
it.
I'll send it to
There it
you
is.
for
Give it a
for
polish.
fee. Yeah.
yeah.
But no, he said like he collected first round draft picks, and he had like from the 90s, and he said he hadn't looked at any of those cards in 20 years. He was still a collector, but he had so much stuff they were just sitting. And he's like, I haven't looked at it in 20 years. I thought no one wanted it. So
Oh my god.
Wow.
Vinny, I see you
That's
have a
crazy.
playoff 101. Those are the starter decks.
Yield, huh?
Crazy.
Hold that up. Hold that up for us, bud. Let's see that again.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
I have a
Dang.
booster box. Yeah, that's the one. I have that one too.
Dang.
Wow.
And one episode can just be. Oh, Vinny, you gotta unmute there, dude. Okay, go ahead.
Find a 96, 97 of those, and I'll be impressed because I've been looking for them for about 6 years.
Really?
I cannot find them.
The Lemieux?
The second year. No, I have the Lemieux.
Oh,
I'm
but who are you
talking
looking
about
for?
no, the boxes, the seal.
Oh, they.
Wow.
So if I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's actually boxes. There's packs, and the packs were
Okay.
released as like a promotional thing with a magazine, and I don't
Oh.
think they actually
Oh.
were released in box form.
That
I'm pretty
explains
sure it was because I've seen the magazine with the attachment of the packs, and they have like the clamshell packaging. They have like them in packs like that, but I don't think they were released in boxes. I don't think they made it properly to store shelves, to be honest.
That explains it. We know about when we need distribution talk, we come to Jimmy.
Oh
He
yeah,
knows
I kind of love that
distribution,
stuff.
man.
For me to find out information about distribution, like I ask people, like I dig. It takes sometimes years to find out how something was distributed or what happened,
Yeah.
or I might remember from when I was a kid. But
Right.
Those second years are harder to find.
absolutely, but they're not as collectible as the first year because people didn't know that they had a second year.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I feel like one episode, I don't know about the rest of you guys, we could just have Vinny, Jimmy, and Ryan just cracking their boxes, and we could just like peer pressure them into opening more and more and more. and
No
more.
way.
Like, I know. All right, so we've got Nick, Cartel, and myself are the last one. So Nick, you're up next, dude. I'll pull up your picture here. I'm just gonna share the picture, and you can just talk your way through them. Sound good?
Okay, yeah, you changed the rules on me there. At least I didn't.
No,
see it
you said you're gonna say the same.
Um,
Say it once.
I know, but I'm gonna throw one in there though.
right,
I'm gonna change one out. Most of mine, 3 of the 4 were legacy picks there.
Let me
But I'm
see
gonna
if-
probably get rid of that Dream Team one.
Okay,
um,
so let me just zoom in here a little
It's
bit.
funny; those dream teams were so tough at one point.
Yeah,
They were incredibly tough. Like I think they were 1 per box, but like I remember I like had a Tom Barrasso that was like used to be big money, like because you just didn't see them very often.
exactly. Like I said, 3 of my picks right here were really more like I said legacy picks, and just like the Don Ross Elite. Those first 2 years, they just screamed 90s. That 93, 94 was like that first big insert, numbered to 10,000, which seems like 6 million right now. And then, like I said, the Leaf Fire on Ices, I've always liked those. These ones are a little overpriced right now, in my opinion, but nonetheless, I've always liked them. And the years before, 93, 94 might be actually my favorite Fire on Ice, the silver one. Then I had to go with the Z team, the 95, 96 Z team. I got the Mario there. That one still stands the test of time. You still see those popping up for big money. Just great inserts. But since I didn't know you were going to change it on me, I just want to give an honorable mention, and I'm going to swap out the Dream Team. Honorable mentions the
Oh yeah.
Atomic Refractor. I had to jump in front of you because I know you're going to do it. But I'm going to go with this one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Universal Ice.
Yep,
Universal
Universal
Ice.
Ice.
Number 250
Yep.
copies per each.
Yeah, 1 of 250 right there, it says. But yeah, so I'm going to put this one up there. I really, really like the look of these. I got a couple other Red Wing ones. But I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there for my parallel.
All right.
But that one's just one that I've always seen, and I've just always just like the shine, the look of them. I think I got a Sergey and a Kozlov. But yeah, just another classic, kind of underrated parallel, I feel, because you just don't see them as much.
Gotcha. I do have a question for you, Nick. You know, we have, you know, we all know that your dad was the spearhead of your PC now. Of these four right here, do you have any memories of your dad chasing down any of these inserts? Like, especially the Z-Team and the Elite, were those cards that he was trying to build sets of, or?
He, to my knowledge, never had a Z-Team. So I picked that one up myself. That Don Ross Elite Mario, he just had it sitting in a penny sleeve in a box.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. As I was going through it, I was like, okay. I don't really remember it.
Right.
But the Fire on Ice, I've had that card actually since I was a kid, since it was probably 97, 96,
cool.
whenever. I remember he opened a lot of that stuff. He actually nearly had that entire press-proof set, 1 through 240. Yeah, I'm only missing a few of those. But yeah, so I know I've had that one. So that one's kind of got a lot of sentimental value. And same thing with the Dream Team as the Mario Elite. He just had that sitting in a penny sleeve too in a box. Just like your that T-Bow refractor, which might come up, but
I don't know, maybe.
But yeah, so like I said, that Fire on Ice, it kind of has a little value to me just because I've actually physically owned that card myself for 23 years now, 24 years.
Right.
Can't believe it's been that long.
That's cool, though. I just like asking those questions, you know, because we all have like our connections to cards from our past. But the fact that you've had those that long, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, he had a nice PC box that he sold right before he got out. I don't really want to know what was in there, but he had some nice stuff in there. It jumpstarted his new hobby, but nonetheless, we won't cross that bridge today.
Okay, probably a good idea because we don't want to shed some tears, especially Will. I know he'll start crying if we bring up those kinds of things. So
I was close, Nick. I was close.
You were? Okay, yeah. Like I said, I love the 95, 96
I was
Dream Team,
debatable.
too. Yeah, like I said, that was one of those ones where they just had a 3-4 year run, and I always kind of liked them.
A lot of those score inserts are tough, though. I was talking about like the net worth and stuff.
Golden Blades, right? 95, 96, those are tough. I heard the Iserman, right, Jimmy, was really, really tough one.
I'd never see Iserman. I think you have a copy, right?
Yeah, I got one.
I don't think I've ever seen maybe one or two other copies of that one surface because it was jumbo box only.
Yep.
That Golden Blade.
All right, Cartel, you're up, dude. Thanks for being patient.
No worries. I feel like I was behind the group conversation, so I actually wasn't super prepared here. In the 90s, I was chasing goaltenders, and particularly Patrick Waugh. I don't have a ton of visual for you guys because a lot of my 90s stuff is still in storage.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what right off the top of my head, some key sets here.
Okay.
And that would be the 95-96 Premier Padman. That's the die cut year that they did the Premier Padman. Oh. And in 96-97, the Elite Painted Warriors. There were a lot of the mask sets, obviously. I think we might have seen one already, but that one was my favorite to collect at the time in terms of the overall look. And I know we didn't talk much about autographs, I think, other than Ryan's, which, by the way, Ryan's cards was like awesome because I collected all those sets. And I was chasing the heart to heart. That was just like a lot of them. The odds were so long. It's like Jimmy said. There was some of these cards like that. The gold card. You're just there. You go. You just figured as a kid. You figured they're just impossible, and they were mythological cards. But 95-96 Via Player, the first mainstream autograph set. The Patrick Waugh die cut because there were die cut parallels. That was my favorite.
He's in the yellow jersey, right? He's in that yellow jersey, Cartel. Right.
Yeah, it's NHLPA, not NHL. And then the next year, you start to see players like Eisner. Yeah, there's the die cut Premier Padman. Nice, because there was an embossed version the year previous, but I liked that one more. And in 96-97 with the Via Player set, they had the foil parallels, but the autographs looked terrible at the end of the day. But still, that was crazy new for the hobby at the time.
Oh yeah.
But I also wanted to toss this out there, guys. How about the parallels to the packaging? Check that out.
That's right.
Boy.
Pinnacle inside. So this is the Eric Lindros Gold. There was one of these per case.
Oh, the gold.
And-
That's sweet.
And what I wanted to chase inside these were the stand-up guys, the goaltending set called stand-up guys. Have you seen those? Where they open
you
up,
put them together. You put
they
the
end up
cards
being
together.
like
Yeah,
exactly. Someone just sold the whole set of them for $20 US.
they're so cheap. They're so cheap.
But yeah, that sums up my '90s experience was collecting the Patrick Laws. There's
Executive collection.
Yeah.
oh nice, there you go, right out of this.
Lindros wondering why his career wasn't better. I don't know.
Right.
I'm kidding. Okay, got it. Awesome cards, dude.
Huh.
So that's my contribution.
Nice.
I was gonna say too, Cartel. You know, be a player. I almost grabbed this card. Was the those what are they called, like prismatic or something? Those autographs out of 100 and I think it was 97, 98. The sparkle ones.
I cut
Yes.
prismatic. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, those are just that year for me. Even the base cards, because it was mostly white. I felt like that was the best looking of the
Yeah.
three that they did. Or the
If you
four.
notice though, something went wrong with the surface and the markers they were using. If you notice, a lot of the autographs are rough. If you see them out there now, they're either faded or kind of messed up. But something was.
Right.
I mean, look, it was only the second year they were doing autograph cards, so I think they were still figuring it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
Cartel,
yeah.
have you seen a lot of yellowing because they use black markers? Have you
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
yeah.
Weird fading and bubbling. Yeah, because I think it was an issue with the marker on the surface. Maybe, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we'll get to. I only have. Well, I have two that you guys haven't said and two that you have. So I feel like it's going to be. I think everybody knows. Three of them you guys already know, but the fourth one nobody's mentioned, and I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you guys. But so I'll do that one first. So first one, I got to go with the Donruss Priority Stamp of Approval. I feel like these are like some of the best looking cards, man. I like that gold stamp down there. I remember when I was
100?
out of 100. When I first started getting into Tebow and I saw this card, I mean, I didn't care what the price was. It was only like $15 American, but still, I felt like that's just an amazing card. So that one stood out for sure.
Those are nice in hand.
Some guy in here, some weirdo Wings fan, helped me track down this bad boy. So yep, definitely got to throw the Atomic on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been so excited to see a card up for auction until last week. So Nick,
It's sitting in a
much
penny
appreciated.
sleeve.
Crazy, dude. Crazy. And I mean, we all know about this card. This is the best looking card ever made for hockey in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'll fight you for that. But no, nailed it. So, but this one's really the one that I want to spend a minute or two talking about, and that's the Z Gold.
There you go.
Now, if anybody has looked up Vaclav Prospel, or you can look up who was the one that sold? I think it was either Lindros or somebody sold for like $400 or $500. What really got me thinking about this whole discussion that we're on right now is this card is not visually appealing. I think we can all agree to that. There's really just not a lot going on here. It's gold. That's cool, kind of cool picture out of 100. But what people don't know is they were in those jumbo Dare to Tears that year.
Jeez.
And so we had kind of talked about how a few of you guys that I've chatted with, just like there's got to be so many of those. Jimmy and I especially chatted about this yesterday. There's got to be so many of those that are still in the jumbo cards because people are putting the set together. But there's also people who probably ripped them and didn't think that was much of a card back in the day or something. So I really don't think there's that many of them out. And this was a very expensive card. It was like over 200 American. So
Holy crap.
so that, in my mind, tells me like this is on the upper echelon of hockey inserts as far as like rarity, not visual appeal at all, but rarity. So I don't know how many of you guys are player collectors. There you go.
Oh, God.
There you go. Yep, there
The
they
worst concept ever.
are. Yeah, especially because they didn't make them like they do now, where you can
that's cool.
tear the card easily. Like if you open up Artifacts, I think has those, or Chronology has those tear
Chronology.
cards. Chronology, and they're very easily openable, and you can kind of
the time
preserve the
capsules.
front.
They're called the time
Yeah.
capsule. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But they didn't do that back then, and so I watched Jimmy like cutting this Shanahan. I was like, oh my god, like slice the back, But even then, the back, like the card was not glued in the same spot on the back, right? It was glued anywhere in this like frame, and so if you like sliced the bottom, you could go right through the actual card inside. So there's the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And do you have the Dare to Tear Shanny, or did you chuck that, Jimmy?
I chucked it. I cut
okay.
it, so it's gone.
All right. Well, preserve. You can put it up like the Gretzky rookie that was all torn up. Get some money for it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so those are my picks. Looking through the list here, I'll just anybody that wants to go, one that wasn't mentioned that you're surprised, or one that was mentioned that you're like, wow, didn't even think of that. Anybody have one that stands out?
I thought Pinnacle picks would have got mentioned.
Say again?
97, 98 Pinnacle picks. I thought that would have got mentioned.
Yeah, some of those are really.
They're coming back to it seems like. I thought we were going to see one of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what card is this?
97, 98, the Pinnacle picks. Remember they had the season and moment and
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Epics, yeah.
Epics, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Epics,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, there's an orange. Yeah,
I thought one of those was going to get mentioned, to be honest.
those are nice.
That was on my short list.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hmm.
Trying to think here. What about the Donruss the autograph card that I got from Jimmy? I felt like even those inserts looked amazing. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Yeah.
Are you guys all familiar with those? I feel like you guys all know those, right? The Back to the Future autographs. I feel like those are.
Oh yeah, the Lethal Weapons.
Oh, the Back to the Futures.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 2 players on them. Oh, there's a lethal weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Did they have 2 on the Don Ross, the lethal?
Yep.
Not the Back to the Future. It was a 2-player card, right?
It was. Yep. But the foil on there was really, really nice. Visually appealing. It was. The pictures were great. The colors were great.
And you can get them autographed too, because I think there's an Iserman Howe. I can't remember. They're paired up. Yeah. Yeah, they signed both. Yeah, it's wild. I looked at buying one.
They're expensive. The first 100 are autographed.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's a good way to knock off 2 autographs in one, right?
Yeah, I think they probably would sell for about like maybe 300, 400 US. To be honest.
Yeah, I seen them at 400 US for the Iserman Howe. That's not bad. And you're getting a crisper Howe autograph too, right?
Not sure. What about? He showed the Lethal Weapons. I felt like Metal Universe had those parallels that were really, really shiny. I feel like those all could have made it on there for sure. What else does Nick have?
4 artist proof.
Oh, the Black Ice artist proof.
Yeah,
those were the best. I thought we might have seen that one too.
this almost got on there too.
Sweaters.
Those are great. Yeah.
This one, well, that one, the white. Those were the hard ones.
What is another one I always liked?
All Marquee Men.
Marquee Men, yeah, the boosters. Reminds me of being a kid. Always has.
Oh, there it is.
That's
Ryan.
the armor plate. That was this is the armor plate superpower, 1 in 720 packs. So this was this was probably like my number 5 that I would have shared.
This is funny what Dave has to say. I'm surprised nobody mentioned this. Hold on just a second here, Vinny. The StarQuest Gold. Yeah. I mean, I feel I feel like those are super, just like the Z Golds. They're super boring cards to look at. I don't care that I have to say that because it's true. They're not very fun to look at, but they're like a vanity piece, right? It's like that really cool piece on your wall, this ugly sculpture, but it's worth a crap ton. That's what I feel like they are.
I acquired a Ray Bork one about 5 years ago, and I had it, and it was like, there's nothing really exciting about this. It reminds me of the blue ones, which are kind of just boring. So I sold it. I kept it for like about a month, and then I flipped it.
They're all boring. I got a ton of reds, ton of greens, ton of
blue. Oh yeah,
blues.
they're so common. The blue, green, and reds.
Especially those blues. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Like,
there we go. What you got?
The
Gold Star.
Gold SPs.
Yeah.
Gold Stars.
What are those again, Will?
They're
95, 96
95,
SP.
96. Yeah, SP. And there was like a silver version, which just looks kind of lame. The gold ones look really good.
Yeah.
The golds are tough. They don't surface very often.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any Emotion XL from the Emotion?
That's great. Yeah.
Don't even bring up that set, Cartel. Cartel, if we were doing base card sets, wouldn't you agree that base set has to be in the conversation?
Absolutely,
Emotion.
man.
Also, yeah.
I remember there was a Dave Gagne card that was controversial because it said "crazed" on the side, and they're like, They're saying that he has mental illness. I don't know.
The Jim Carrey one says smoking on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
There it
I
is.
got
Keep,
that.
hold that a little
There's
bit
an
closer,
example.
Nick. A little bit closer. There you go.
Those are really nice.
Oh, dude. Dang.
Yeah.
The photography on all the inserts, all the base set, like, oh, yeah, I need that base set in my life. I do. But I want to get it from opening a box, not buying the set, 'cause that's no fun.
Do you guys remember the packs? They were like
Yep.
little boxes.
It was like Flair, though. It was exactly like Flair.
The Flair 94 and 85 was insane. Like seeing those packs. Oh, is that the superpower?
This isn't the superpower.
Oh,
But
This
look how
is for
awesome
Dave.
that looks.
it's still so nice.
Yeah, that's a beauty right there.
There you go, Dave.
Golly. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I had the chance to talk to Jean Arena, who helped design all the Flair stuff. Her and her husband did, and her and her husband's ideas from the 90s were just like top
Yeah,
of the line. Never gonna see it again.
Like that. Yeah.
I wish the Upper Deck would hire them for a year and just have them do all their sets, all their inserts. It would be an amazing year of collecting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody got to share kind of their surprise that didn't make it in there. But I mean, what's really cool about this too is I feel like this episode is a fun one for people to kind of jump into that are kind of getting into hockey again, coming back to the 90s. I mean, you could go through every one of our lists and have like a top 30 of your player to chase down, because other than some of the big insert sets, most of the hockey players that were even decent are in these. So. Man, just an amazing list. Are there any cards that made the list that surprised you guys? Because for me, like seeing the score insert on there, like when I was thinking of this in my mind, I was thinking like eye appeal. For me was number one, and then maybe rarity, kind of number two. But then it got me to think like, okay, maybe I should have thought about those score inserts, because some of those, like again, the net worth for the goalies, they're not very expensive, but they just don't show up. Like 2 or 3 T-bows show up a year.
Yeah, the 96, 97 ones are really tough.
Where do you think I got mine from?
Yeah.
But I mean, that really got me thinking about that. Were there any cards in there that surprised you guys that they did make the list? Made somebody's list?
Nope, I'm good.
No surprises for me.
No.
Okay.
It's nice seeing some of these rarer cards pop up, though. To see these, some of them I haven't seen in years. Like, I'm a very specific collector to sets, so I don't collect it. I can't collect everything. Nobody can collect everything. So it's cool seeing some of these other insert sets and parallels pop up.
We forgot these too.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kramer's Choice. Yeah.
They did them so different in hockey, because baseball they had like 5 years of them, so there were plenty to chase down. But in hockey, there's only, if I'm correct, a couple of years of the smaller, regular card size versions. But they were, I mean, Will, you were talking about this. I think somebody else was like seeing these rare cards in Beckett and whatnot. Kramer's Choice were like these cards that you knew you were never going to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the jumbos.
Yeah. That's such a nice card.
So can you imagine pulling
Hard to
that
house.
and like you wouldn't have let your dad carry a Kramer's Choice around in his pocket for a few minutes. I mean, never would have happened. But, yeah, good one, Dave. I totally forgot about that. Cool. Well, I mean, looking at this list here, I mean, because everybody did so many different ones, I mean, I don't know if I could even pick like the 4 most popular. I mean, that would be impossible. I think this is like a ridiculous list, and there's no way to just pick 4 from it.
I think Don Ross Elite Series is a cemented one in.
Yeah.
We had enough votes for that.
Elite.
Yeah, we had enough votes for that one at least.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it'd be kind of fun to do this list in terms of this. Like if I asked, okay, you got a buddy of yours, and he or she says, hey, I want to start collecting 90s hockey. Give me a few cards that are obtainable. Like you wouldn't say, okay, go get a Z Gold, right? You just wouldn't say that. But if you were to say, like, hey, go get a card that like sums up the 90s, the Elite Series is probably one of your first choices. Am I right?
Yeah.
We all agree upon that. Like,
Not overly difficult to find.
Yeah,
not overly difficult to
10,000.
find. Cheap,
Yeah.
like cheap as compared
Great
to
looking,
some of those
too.
other ones, right?
Yeah.
The first
What-
2 years, like I said, man, those are 2 of the best looking cards in my opinion, at least.
Right. And then I mean even the finest refractors too, right? I mean those I believe it was 94, 95 that you showed. Those aren't bad at all. I went and looked up. I couldn't find a Cujo, but I want one because he's in that sweet uniform.
Yeah.
Like I think those have to be mentioned for sure.
Putting a set together though is a pain though, isn't it? Will?
It is, but that one's only like 160 some cards.
Yeah.
So it felt like it was doable. Like I'm starting to collect the artist proofs.
Yeah.
Like 570 cards, and I would never really even attempt because I just don't want. Like there's so many players that I don't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Can't even pay $1 for.
Even the cheap ones are like $2.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna like you add up, you do the math on that, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm not like I would put that money in the stock market, buy GameStop.
Buy 200 commons at $2 a piece. Yeah, no thanks.
Oh my gosh, nice reference. Very good.
But I think it's also like that's something that I've learned starting to collect again is that like you don't have to collect it all. Like no matter what it is, like just like take it, like sleep on it. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to. All this stuff is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so few things that like if you see an auction or like buy it now, you have to get because like it'll pop up again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like for me, like I bought the finest set. I got kind of like crazy on that, but it's still just sitting in a box. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like you get them and then what do you do with them? Like they're not on my mantle.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful of light, natural light, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in a dark closet.
I don't have any one touches with the UV. You know, everything is in the top loader. So,
All right.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, because a one touch is like $10 a pop now. So watch out.
I can't do it.
I
don't have anything
going for the roof too.
Jeez.
I just gotta say, what's Will's toque? Is that a Calgary '88 Olympics toque?
It is.
Ha! Not so.
It's the wrong way.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I
Nice.
thought I seen. I just had to ask. Classic.
Yeah, that's my mom's from Edmonton, and
Oh,
so
really?
family in Calgary too. So we used to. I don't know. That was obtained probably in 1988,
Nice.
somewhere along the way.
Well, let's end on that topic that Will brought up there because I like how he mentioned like you don't have to go crazy and try to buy all these cards up because a lot of times they come back around. But we have to consider the fact that the market is also as hot as it's ever been. We come back to this every time, but I'll go to Cartel to start though. So rather than spoiling all the Cartels like sleeper buys for the market, we're just going to skip past that. And if you were to give like a piece of advice, let's say a new collector again watch this and like, oh my god, I got all these cards on my list. Like, what would be a piece of advice you would give to somebody to like when who's kind of coming back into collecting 90s right now? Cartel, start with you. What do you think you'd say?
That is a tougher question than it seems like on the surface, man, because
Right.
like you said, this market is out of control. I mean, look, I don't want to tread too much into the other sports or anything, but we saw what happened yesterday with the Jordans. I'm sure we all read about it. I mean, to go from 125 to over 700
Yeah.
in a matter of less than 60 days. So I think in one of our previous discussions, I said to people, if you really want something and you see it, you might not want to hesitate. But then, like Ryan's saying, some of this stuff is obtainable. You got to do some research. I tell people that are just getting into it to do nothing. What I mean by that is talk to people and do the research.
Yeah.
And if you can figure out that certain things that you're looking for specifically really are rare, quote unquote rare, and you do see it, you might want to act fast. But
Right.
then you also kind of want to keep a level head and knowing what Ryan said, the volume is out there. It's not like there are a lot of people getting into panic stuff where it's the FOMO where you feel like you're missing out on something. But particularly like in the 80s market, I feel like that's happening right now where people are like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I've been dragging my feet. I got to get these cards now. And that's actually what's driving the price up. But
Yeah.
90s is still kind of like it. Like I think all the cards we talked about are still somewhat obtainable at decent prices. So I would say like just do the research, stay level-headed, knowing that things are so nuts right now. You know, like I think as long as you're not dealing with rookie cards and slabs, you have a lot more leeway to be picky
Yeah.
and take your time when you're picking stuff up.
That's great advice.
For sure.
Love it.
I'm gonna hop in. I gotta run real quick.
All right,
so
well.
I'm gonna hop off.
Nice. Thanks for making it today,
Yeah,
man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, take care, Will.
I'll see you.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, Nick, you want to springboard off that? So, I mean, you two are kind of, new in a sense of like coming into this market having fresh eyes on it. You knew the cards for, since you were a kid, but like, what would you say to somebody who brand new coming on in?
Like Cartel said, do your research. Be focused, because you can easily just get out of control. We've all been there. You start grabbing stuff you don't need. And especially in this market, if you got stuff you're not in love with, you can do without. I mean, it might not be a bad idea to sell some of it to supplement the income to buy some of the stuff, because it is just so expensive right now. But like I said, just stay focused. It's very easy to get off track and start chasing guys, start chasing sets. So I have to tell myself this all the time, actually. Stay focused. But that's my biggest thing. Like I said, do your research. Check on past auctions, past prices, and just go from there.
Yeah, I think Dave.
Right there too, because Jimmy taught me something very, very important. You always regret the ones you don't get. He did teach me that, like you said, because there was a card I overpaid for, and you know what? I don't even care anymore. I remember I was saying to him, it was the Z Team Sergey. I think I paid 70. Right. I was like, I can't believe I paid 70, and now I don't. I'm glad I got it. It's whatever. They don't pop up. It is what it is. So I would say that too. If you see something you really want, grab it. If it's like you said, rare.
I mean, think about it though. In about 4 or 5 months, that's going to be a great price. So just don't even worry about
the way it's going. Yeah.
Right. How about you, Jimmy? I mean, you are versed further than most of us. I think, with everything that you're doing when you research the cards. I mean, you have a different perspective. What would you say to somebody that's coming in that's brand new to collecting 90s?
There's a lot of good places to start. One set that I think is a lot of fun is 95, 96 tops. There's a lot of nice looking inserts like the Marquee Men Power Boosters, and they're still incredibly affordable. But I think it's important too to take some time to look at the market, because there's a lot of stuff that's already way up high. Like you can't start out, you can't go buy that. But there's a lot of opportunity in 90s hockey if you look. There's a lot of things that were rare at the time when they came out, but they're not really valuable now. But certain things like that will correct itself over time. So you could do yourself a great service by picking up some older Beckett's, let's just say you want to collect 97, 98, grab some 98 Beckett's, go through the hot list, see what was hot at the time, and see, and there's a lot of opportunity in Pacific. I'm not going to go deep into that. But with Pacific, there's so much opportunity because some of that stuff, when that came out, was so expensive. And then when Pacific kind of went off the map, then everything plummeted like crazy. And it really hasn't, some of the stuff hasn't really climbed back up yet. And I think that will correct itself eventually. So again, it's just doing your homework, doing your research, finding where the opportunities are. But at the end of the day, in 90s, there's so much to collect that's not expensive. Vinny, you were showing me that before the show, 92, 93 Ultra Lemieux PSA 9. That's a gorgeous card, and that probably didn't set you back very much. You probably got a great deal on that.
Yeah,
and I feel for 90s hockey, they're beautiful. It's a beautiful set.
Yeah,
the photography is fantastic.
Oh, and the quality of the card is so good.
Yeah,
sarcasm.
Again, it's just in 90s as well. Grading 90s inserts for hockey is not really quite anywhere near it is for basketball, for example. I feel like there's so much opportunity in some certain graded cards, and they won't even cost you an arm and a leg. One card that's incredibly popular among many, I guess, average Joe collectors is the 91-92 Pavel Bure rollerblading card. You can get that card for 25 cents. But a PSA 10 now is going up for over $50 or $60. So again, you could find a lot of 20 Bure's rollerblade cards for $4 because you're gonna get 25 cents a pop. Pick out a couple that are really nice. Go get them graded. I mean, whether you want to sell it or not, it's up to you. But for me, that's kind of stuff that I want to grade because it's fun. I want some of that for my collection, but also, if I'm sending in 20 of them or 10 or whatever because I want to get a couple of 10s, I'm not going to keep all my 10s. I'll sell a few, make some money back. But I definitely feel like there's a lot of opportunity in getting stuff graded for 90s hockey because it really hasn't taken off yet. and I think it will become more of a bigger thing down the road.
Right. All good
And then
points,
you'll
man.
enjoy them a year from now.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah, no.
When
Well,
they get back.
it's not too bad. Like PSA right now, from Canada, I'm seeing other big submissions. They're getting them back after 6 or 7 months, so I don't think that's
Nice.
too bad. I know Beckett's a lot slower, like BGS.
Mhm.
So again, for me,
Flooded.
if I'm sending in a value service for $10 a card, and I have to wait 6 to 7 months, okay, I don't care. That's not a problem. Like what I'm doing right now is I'm sending in like 30 cards.
They don't charge you until you
30
get them too, right?
Until they grade them. I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
so it's not
basically,
like they're tied up. Okay.
No, because
Yeah.
when they scan it in, they don't charge you yet. It's when they actually open your box, get your cards ready out for grading, then they charge you.
Okay.
Good to know.
So for
How
me,
about-
I'm just doing like 30 cards, a couple weeks,
Right.
30 more cards. Like I just keep on sending out these shipments, so it's like not like I have 400 cards sitting all in one shot. I'm kind of
Yeah.
spacing it out. And yes, I might pay a little bit more with shipping, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good thinking though, man. That's definitely worth it. Ryan, what about you? I mean, you are a big, as people know. I mean, you're big on grading, but if somebody's kind of coming in that's brand new and or has collected when they were a kid, I mean, what would you tell somebody like? Because you certainly helped me a lot. I asked you a lot of questions back in the day. So
Buy one of these. If you take Price Guide out of the bloody title, it's actually a pretty good resource because it gives you a lot of information, especially if you're collecting 90s stuff. Because it'll list the set, right? It'll list how many cards are in it. It'll list all like a small detailed write up on the set, and then you also have all the insert sets with possibly a small write up, and they have all your multipliers and all that. The price guides are relevant. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, the
Right.
market's traveling at such a rate now that nobody can keep up with it. So I would say get one of those just to get an idea of what's in, like who's who and what's what. Because if you're collecting 90s stuff, I mean, think of how many companies were there in the 90s. There's tons. I mean, starting in 1990 till 1999, think of all the companies that had came through, and then all the other, like all their sets throughout the years from those companies, right? Then all the insert sets that came along with those. So there's a lot. And I would say make a list, a goals list. That's what I did last year. I made a list for all vintage 80 from 1980 to 89 rookie cards. I wanted to pick them up in either PSA 8 or 9. And I made a list, and I had to tackle them because I knew the market was, with that Last Dance coming out, I thought, okay, here we go. Is this going to hit the hockey card market? If I don't do this now, I better do it soon. So I put together, like, obviously the Gretzky, the Lemieux, and the Wall, and I just went down. And I quickly bought them and I bought them in PSA 8 that had nice eye appeal to me.
Mhm.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you're chasing 10s or BGS 10s or PSA 10s or BGS 9.5s, if that's your thing, that's cool. But man, like there's a lot of 8s out there and 9s that have great eye appeal, even 7s, depending what year you're going after.
Sevens still look nice, and they're way cheaper than anything other because they're near mint. 7's considered near mint.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that exactly. And a PSA 9's mint. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's like one or two flaws maybe.
Yeah,
most.
but if you follow a lot of grading cards, that disparity between say PSA 7, 8, and 9 is gone between the 10s, because there used to be a big gap, especially key rookie cards, especially across the 4 sports. You could pick up PSA 7s and 8s of certain key rookie cards that were cheap. Now that's fading away. So I mean, that's what and also too, go after some of those lesser companies too, like KSA and GAI or GMA and all those. If you can find a rookie card in their cracking, send it into one of the big 3. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I would say.
Did you guys see that the Jordan that's been floating around, the picture of the PSA 10? It's off center, left to right, and centering for a lot of people is going to be a key part of the visual presentation.
Yeah.
You just spent $700,000. By the way, I'm almost 100% certain it wasn't an individual. It was probably a group of people or someone purely making an investment.
Yeah.
But that's not a mantelpiece when it's 80, maybe not 80-20, but 70-30. And it's a PSA 10.
I'll have to take a look at it.
Like Ryan mentioned, I had a list of 90s cards I wanted to grab graded. And so when you look at 90-91 score, I'm finding gem mint cards, both from PSA and BGS of Brodeur and Lindros, and they're terrible. They look terrible. And I'm trying to buy the card and not the grade. And it becomes really frustrating because I'm looking at some of the ones I just pulled out of packs and I'm thinking, these look not much different than the gems. So if I do see a visually appealing gem, I will go for it.
Yeah.
Because you don't see them. You just
Yeah.
don't see them. So yeah, the card, not the slab, is the concept. And I
Yeah.
think that you covered that very well.
Yeah.
No, all great pieces of advice for sure. How about you, Vinny? What would you say for new collectors?
You're not going to have the luxury I had. So in 2016, when I got back in, I spent the whole year of 2016 researching. I didn't buy a thing. I sat there, I watched YouTube video after YouTube video, and I read as much as I could on the internet, eBay, ComC. I would just go out there and find stuff. Then in 17, I started buying slowly, and I didn't go on eBay till probably 2019, something like that.
Wow.
So I did a lot of research. Then I made my
Vinny paused himself.
We lost you.
lists. You get
Oh,
your
there we go.
Oh,
Now you're
lists,
back.
lists and books.
nice.
Yep, lists and books. So, and then find groups of people like we are here and bounce stuff off of them.
For sure.
Yeah.
I can't, Dave Archer, Matt. I bounce stuff off of everybody that I know. I'll put it in our little group chat.
Yep.
It's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'll ask my wife her opinion because she's a vast knowledge of hockey. She knows players from she knows hockey. So when I said, what do you think about him? Do you think he'll ever make the Hall? Well, maybe some kind of veteran committees thing, maybe eventually. And I'm like, that's not a bad thought there. Maybe I should grab a couple of him.
Right.
I and then I tell my kid, pick what looks good.
Yeah.
Go. What do you think? Because
Right.
she has the hot hand in opening packs, so
Yeah.
I let her open them and get the good stuff. But coming in, I don't envy anybody
Oh God.
because
for sure not.
there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to prepare, and
Yeah.
like Dave was saying, the time frame is condensed. Now you have to, like Dave said, if you see something try to use all your tools in your toolbox to figure it out quickly and act.
Right.
And like it's not as easy. It's like this. We'll go the Kramer's Choice. These don't come up. This is the
That's
2000, so
beautiful. Wow.
it doesn't fall.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, it doesn't
Wow.
fall into what we were doing today.
Nice.
But I went to my people. I said, Dave, what do you think? And what do you think price wise? And that's the best thing to do. You talk to people, you figure it out,
Wow.
and you pull the trigger if you think, because I don't think I'll ever get that card cheaper.
Right.
Yeah.
I found one in a lot, and I think it was a damaged card, or it got backdoored out of Pacific. It has no number on it,
Oh,
but the other ones that same year have numbering on it. It was in a lot for $22, and I'm
Wow.
looking at it. It's damaged,
yeah.
but it's still an instance of the card. It's a
That's cool.
placeholder. So
Right.
and the
No,
Yager there was a Yager in there, Kramer's too.
No, it's really
Two
cool.
Kramer's Choice.
So there's a guy at one of my flea markets who's like crazy wealth of knowledge for 90s stuff. Like I'm like he's like the Jedi Master, and I'm like his Padawan. But like, man, like I asked him, I said, when I buy a lot of Pacific stuff, a lot of it's coming from Europe. I'm like, why is it coming from overseas? And he said, when Pacific closed out, there was a group over, I think it might have been Sweden or somewhere in Europe, that bought their remaining stock.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So
Didn't know that.
a lot of
That's
the remaining stock
interesting.
ended up in Europe. And again, it's
I
slowly
did not
made its
know
way
that.
back because I was working. I said I was working on 2001 Titanium, the Game Gear patches and the set, because it was the first set ever that had one game per pack, and I started doing that in like 2008. And everything I was buying on eBay was coming from Sweden. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And so I asked him, and he said, yeah. He's like, whoever. He told me the guy's name. I completely forgot the guy's name who bought it, but he's based in Europe.
Man, if only we could go back in time and like be ready
Yeah.
for when that happened. I think a dream of mine is to have. He'll never do it, but to have Mike Kramer do an interview, not about what happened there, but just to talk about his ideas behind all the parallels and the rainbows and the Kramer's Choice. Just because I felt like Pacific was just a little bit ahead of the game because they were doing what modern cards are doing now. Look at Artifacts. There's like 20 parallels of the same freaking card, which I get is cool, but for me, what I love about the 90s is there's not. There's like one or two, you know?
Yeah.
And but
Two's a good spot, man. You get a nice, easy one, like one every pack, and then one that's one a box. That's you know.
And
Gold
they're numbered.
medallion, platinum medallion. I mean, or ice medallion. Sorry, I mean that perfect example. The stamp of approvals. You know, I mean those are one per box. The atomics were one every 1, 2, 3 boxes somewhere there. But
and the refractors were nice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You had the refractory atomic, but I mean, for me, when I got into collecting about a year ago, the 90s hockey, I will say that I was quite overwhelmed in a way because I hadn't looked at these cards since I was a kid. But having come from 90s baseball, I kind of had my research somewhat done. I knew what to go for. Like I knew which cards were in both sports. So I kind of just targeted those. But coming in, if I was completely fresh, it's so easy to get overwhelmed. I'm a goalie fan. I would have just been buying everything. Like buy the
you waste
Cujo,
a
buy
lot
the
of
Wall.
money.
Yeah, and I did. I bought some Patrick Waugh. I bought all these different goalie Brodeur and so I had to really think about okay, I should have been even more focused. So after a week, I said Jocelyn Thibault. No hate, like he's the guy, and that really helped me out because I didn't worry about all the other noise outside of that one player. And then I just narrowed it down to what cards do I want, and I just went from there. And so I think, you guys have all said it. Be focused in some direction. Maybe it is Red Wings or Islanders or Leafs or this player, but you have to be focused because there's just too much.
Yeah.
There's just too much. And
I would start with a small insert set. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Like if you had the money to, it's not bad. Like the Z team, 95, 96 Z team, it's not impossible to do. But something small like that, 20, 30 cards or 15, 20 cards, find a set. That's really small.
The 96, 97, that could be an easier one. I mean, there you
go.
They still look cool, but they're much cheaper. But
yeah,
my second piece of advice,
network guys or something. Yeah. Fully set up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my second piece of advice is to go to people like this right here. You know, if I want to find out about a certain insert set that I know Nick has, I might say, hey, Nick, how tough was it to get these? Or what do you think about these in hand? Like, go to people and talk to them. Reach out to us because we're more than happy to help out. I had a couple people reach out about the Platinum and Gold. Like, okay, wait, what's going on with this card? And like, okay, well, here's the base card, and they did all these parallels, and this is how. So I enjoy that. I think we all do. I think don't be afraid to reach out to people. You got the flea market master. You've got
dealer.
I was just seeing if Jimmy was paying attention. But you got all these people with a wealth of knowledge. Don't be afraid to reach out, man. We're more than happy to share. So cool. Well, I don't know about you guys, but enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed hearing all your different picks. We got Dollar in here. That was awesome. Hopefully we can get all 8 people in here next time. If everybody's cool with it, do you want to shoot for the day before the Super Bowl? Not that anybody cares who wins that game, but I don't think it would
watch though. No.
Oh yeah, we'll watch it as family. It's kind of the thing.
It's going to be a good game.
Oh yeah, and if you have a Tom Brady rookie card, don't sell it yet, because if he wins, you're going to be sitting on a new car or a new house.
Oh, man.
I know we have a viewer in here, Lob Lewis, aka Bob Lewis, has a very, very nice Brady that he's just like, oh baby, go Bucks.
Yeah,
I got a garbage Fleer Impact one that's just, I remember pulling it from a CVS when I was a kid.
Really?
Like I said, it's a super cheap card, but now I don't even no idea what it's worth.
Yeah, well, if he
No
wins
idea.
again, you can use it to fund another nice Flyers card for yourself. But let's shoot for Saturday. If everybody's cool with that, we'll go for Saturday, same time, unless you guys want to change around the time. But let's go for the day before and kind of throw some topics around. Maybe a topic where we're kind of all just bouncing around. But I did want to cover this because I just wanted to see just kind of where people's preferences are at right now. And I love that I saw a lot of, quote unquote cheap cards that had, sentimental value, because for me, that's what this is all about for hockey, man. I enjoy sharing cards with my dad still. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember that one. And wow, I never saw that in our card shop when we went. So this was a lot of fun for me. But yeah, we'll plan on going Saturday. It was nice for people to join. Thanks for coming, and hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Cool.
Anyway,
See you guys next Saturday.
Cool.
Take care.